can.
You can record. Okay, thank
Well,
God we think. So please, you can go ahead with this session. I
well,
have
sure.
to go back to the main room because there are still some unassigned people that I have to sort out.
You're welcome.
Please.
Thank you so much. And then we kickstart. Well, welcome everyone who is already there, participating in this wonderful session for people who want to get their hands dirty. Can you hear me, please, everyone? Okay, okay. I get the signal that I am audible and everyone can follow me, and so I can profit from this time to welcome every one of you who is dedicated to this mission of feeding people, saving their communities, and yeah, making better lives for everyone who is in your community, around in your country, in Africa, and globally. That's the mission you have given yourself, trying to get into food production, vegetable production, in climate smart agriculture. That's something very interesting, and I congratulate and welcome every one of you who is already there. Well, I would like to share my screen with you so we can get the slides. Is that going to work with you, Oi? Is it?
Yes, please go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Well, okay. Here is my screen welcoming you to this session. Well, it is about climate smart vegetable production and women-led green businesses. This is not something you don't know, but of course, like she introduced me, I am also an entrepreneur. And this is one of the things I really respect from the Nigerian people. I haven't been in such beautiful country, I guess it is, but I have good memories of Nigeria because my first seed capital came from the Tony Elumelu Foundation, which supported our first projects. And today we have grown, and we are really happy and grateful for that. Nigerian people, you are good people. So I really appreciate who you are and who you are committed to become again. So let's dive into the discussion and see how we can get the best from this presentation of today. Well, I would like also to mention that this is a participative, so you have to participate in. It is not me alone doing the talking, but I will invite every one of you to be in. I can call your name to read, for example, for us, a given slides or to interpret us so that we understand if we are on the same level of progress, so we can get the best of it. Because sometimes when you are talking alone, you might not get all things right. Well, let's progress and move to the next slide. Um, well, as I said before, you wanted this career of entrepreneur, and an entrepreneur is someone who is finding solutions and the well-being of all his community or the country he wants to serve and the problem he wants to resolve. And you have chosen vegetable production. This is food. Understanding that this is food and nobody escapes eating vegetables. Vegetables are in almost all plates, in all families every day, because they are nutrition and food. But when we have to produce that food, wanting to make better lives for people, wanting to produce income from that, the surrounding, the environment, the ground we are going to get those vegetables from require us to make a little bit of effort, planning, and skills in so that we get the maximum of what we can get from our work. And that's why I will welcome every one of you who already wishes to develop even business in that and produce and live from it, because we have experiences, we have done that, and then it is possible, but it is up to every one of us to get skilled and do what is required to do to be done to get the maximum of it. Well, as I said before, vegetables are vital for nutrition, income. When you build your enterprise, your organization, or your business, you will generate income. And generating income means people will be in. You will work with a team. You will work with a staff, because you cannot do the job yourself. And at that point, you will grow. You will need more people. You will need more production. Maybe your clients will ask more, and you will have to expand. So you understand that you can start the way you are, like one individual, two people in together, or three, but likely the destiny will be moving you forward to grow. And that's why you have to understand that local economic growth and households resilience comes to your shoulders when you decide to serve people. And this workshop is not about something mysterious, but like an exchange or skill sharing that we are going to do, so that we come out with something valuable for every one of us. Now, I would like to ask you one question from my introduction. What and why you want to improve in your vegetable businesses? What do you think you want to develop? What do you think you have to improve on your business? If you have immediate answer, please, you have the floor and share with us. Hawa Ahmed, do you have something to say? Someone to say something?
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Hello, welcome.
All right. My name is Bukola Dada Nosirat.
Okay.
All right. For somebody like me, can you hear me, please?
I can hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
Of course, yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Safari. Thank you so much. For somebody like me, I don't really have an existing business. Maybe vegetable production and stuff like that. But for somebody like me, I studied both in school as plant science, and with the mindset of, okay, so tomorrow or after this program, I'm going to venture into vegetable production. For me, I feel like the main reason why I'm here is to to do something different from the normal way at which we plant vegetables. Okay, I guess there was a time where I had to, or I got to know about Suddes farming and how it is being used to produce vegetables and all that. And from the name Climate Smart, I feel like there is so much more that we need to do, we need to improve on from our, instead of uh, focusing and staying at that traditional method or that traditional way of producing vegetable. I feel like there's something new that should be done about it. There should be a new way, a new technique that is that is eco-friendly. So for me, I feel like that's the main reason why I am really, really interested in this class. Because as someone who but probably was still probably a youth in this time, and there should be something different from the normal. And I believe through this knowledge or through this class, I am going to also share my idea with other persons, other farmers, and see how we can come up with something different from the traditional method, which is kind of harmful. Because in my area, I know there are some persons who plant vegetables, who cultivate vegetables and still use chemical fertilizers and some other things, and some farmers who suffer from loss due to maybe pests um and other things like that. So I feel like that's just my own to do something different from the normal traditional way of cultivating vegetables. Thank you.
That's very good, Nosarit, Dada. That's really nice point that I understand that you haven't yet started your venture in vegetable production and would like to get that smart thing of it. So we are in it, and we are going to reach that level. Thank you very much, and that's what I needed to hear from you and from let's hear for Beryl. You raised up your hand, and yeah, have your say.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, I'm Beryl, and I'm from the rural parts of Kenya, next to Lake Victoria.
Mhm.
And it's amazing to have you, Mr.
Safari.
Bahati. It's nice to know that I'm also doing something that you're doing. I'm doing black soldier fly. I
Mhm.
also have vegetable farms and poultry farms.
Mhm.
So I use the black soldier fly protein to feed to my poultry, and also the organic fertilizer to the farms, the vegetable farms. And to me, what I would love to achieve is ensure that there is no food shortage in my community, because we are coming from the lake region, and you find like um, people suffer from the poverty rates, and sometimes you find like there is that tendency of people uh, believing that their source of income should only be the lake, and now you find the organic waste are contaminating the lake. But to me, I find like there should be conversion of waste into value, and also it can help us in food productivity, whereby you find like in the morning I go to the lake and collect the fish remains that always they live next to the lake. They get washed into the lake, so I collect them, feed them to my black soldier fly. At the same time, I feed the black soldier fly larvae to the chicken, and the organic fertilizer I use it in the production of my vegetables, because I also have farms within the lake, next to the lake. So you find like there is that aspect of regenerative agriculture helping in the food production in terms of vegetables and tomatoes, and there is also the aspect of poultry production. And this one is helping in the community, because it's like a model farm for me to also educate the community that they can also convert whatever they feel it's a waste into value, so that we can help in the food productivity. So to me, the biggest thing that I focus in is food productivity, because food insecurity is a problem here, and also the blue economy is now affected, and the overfishing is being done. And I also the lake region where I come from is a semi-arid area, so you find like crops in terms of maize and corns don't do well, so we do the water pumping from the lake into the farms and do vegetables. So you find like the productivity of food is becoming a key thing to me. Yeah, thank you.
You are welcome, Beryl. That's a very good point. And yeah, you started a mission, you have to go on and to keep it up, find the ways to you can strive in doing what you are doing. And of course, you have already find some strategies of getting water from the lake to your farms. And that's already one of the ways you can deal with such difficulties you encounter as you go on fighting food insecurity. And yeah, is there anyone who wants to add something? If there is anyone who wants to, Gladys, you said the network is bad. On which side? For on my side or Gladys? Can you hear us? She's okay. Maybe she will fix that later. Well, thank you so much for your contribution, Dada and Beryl, from this point. That's really very interesting that you are keen on doing what you want to do. I, as an entrepreneur and a community leader venturing in agriculture, food production as well, climate smart agriculture, forest protection. I would like to tell you that entrepreneurship or business is something you go in with your heart, trying to find solutions for what you see as problem for your community, for yourself, because after all, we need money to get into our pockets, our accounts, for everything we do. And the best way is the way that does not require you much input, that does not take you much time. If you have any way you can do things with less investment, short time, big revenue, that's the best way. And what we are going to discuss here is like everyone has to find, according to his region, according to your problem, according to your wish, because also producing vegetables, we are not all going to talk about cabbage alone, beans alone, tomato or onion. So it depends on what you want to venture in and the solution you want to bring to your community and the country. So that's understood. And you have to challenge yourself a little bit to get out of it. Sometimes people feel like business is easy. Business is not easy. When you get into business, you have to sacrifice, like, and when you sacrifice, knowing that you have planned, you have put in efforts, things can eventually go well. For example, this picture here, you can see me in the market. selling vegetables from our ground, our field, our farmland. It was not because people to sell were not there, but I wanted to show such an example to my team that we can do it. And this is part of things we can do as vegetable producers. Go meet the customers and feel what they want from you, the quality and so on. But that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is like what we want to do with the objectives we have given ourselves, not only money. I like Tony Elumelu Foundation when he says, Tony says, your objective is not money. The objective is to get the solution to the problem. And when you get the solution to the problem people are facing, you get money from that. And well, for this learning objectives, let's go and develop much on what we have prepared for you, so that the little time we still have profit much from this. Okay, by the end of this session, participants like you who are already there, I have 17, like 20. Let me check. Okay, we are 19. Okay. Well, in this occasion, I want to, because I thought we could be more than that. Well, the learning objectives, by the end of this workshop, participants will be equipped with knowledge, skills, and tools to transform their vegetable enterprises into climate resilient, profitable business. Why? Because you have to understand the climate risks affecting vegetable production. And as Dada said, also you have to apply those climate smart techniques for soil, water, and pest management. Of course, you have also to implement post-harvest handling best practices, develop farm records, business plan, and market strategy. Why is that? Because if you don't know that when you go to plant things, there is a risk that they will not survive if you don't watch over them, and you have in mind that you are looking for income, your enterprise or your business or your venture might not grow to its capacity. So the first thing to have in mind is that how are you going to make your business thrive, grow? And you do that by understanding that you are working in an environment where you have heats, when you have drought, no rain. Please. Someone is saying something? Can we go on, please? Okay. Please, everyone who is unmute can mute his microphone so that we don't get disturbed anyway. Okay, those are the learning objectives. Now, the question is why climate smart vegetable production matters. As I said before, vegetables are vital for nutrition, providing essential vitamins, minerals, and dietary diversity. Women-led vegetables, like you have already gotten, you generate income not only for you, but for your household. You create local jobs. Someone is disturbing. Let Can you still hear me, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Hawa is disturbing. So, well, okay. I was talking about why we have to apply those climate smart vegetable production skills. It is because you as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, vegetable producer, you have to know that these are also products which are very fragile in terms of the climate, in terms of the environment you are working in. Even though you have a very good plan and you have very good wishes of production, if you go in a wrong place, for example, you go to a mountain where you are going to establish your farm, how successful will it be? Of course, maybe you can succeed, but you have tested yourself. That's the wrong place to go for vegetables. And if you can, you will have invested a lot than maybe you could have invested in a different place. That's why, like she said, traditional farming is increasingly vulnerable because sometimes you don't have that rainfall, the heat. Sometimes temperatures are getting very high and pests are invading your vegetables. So you have to develop and get those skills to fight and reduce the impact of those dangers which can affect your production. And you as an entrepreneur, you have to find solutions like when there is rainfall which is not regular, for example, Beryl has told us that she gets water from the lake, from the river. And this is already an alternative solution. For example, when there is a heat stress on your garden, are you trying to get like some shades, like a greenhouse? And when there is pests, are you trying to figure out what can I do or apply to chase the pest or the insects which are affecting my vegetables? All those questions must be within you every single day, because also you have to, a farmer is also a good observer, a good analyst. You cannot start a vegetable production from the office alone. You have to be at the farm, checking in your plants every day. Because if you produce, for example, like you can see our tomatoes here, they are much appreciated on the market. Why? Because we took care of them. It requires time. It requires the heat. Like you say, oh, there is a lot of sun. Yeah, you have to go on that to protect, to do something to make your tomato thrive under that heat. If there is no water, you have to find the way to get that water to your plants to thrive. Because if you don't, the income might not be that satisfying for you as well. Well, let's go to the next slide, which is likely the same. on climate change and how smallholder farmers, especially you who are in vegetable production in Kenya, in Nigeria, in many African countries, as we said, there is a rising of temperatures. And the people who are not in agriculture will maybe doubt of climate change, but climate change is there. Because you will see, for example, on the picture here, that the soil is losing moisture because of water. Water is not in that. Of course, this picture was taken in a different area from where we work, but you can understand that this happens, that when there is no rainfall, the ground, the soil, the farmland will not perform and give you what you want to get from it. And all this will cause the pest to be much regular. So you have to fight much because there will be disease outbreaks. And in that, you will likely find like you are in a high vulnerability. You become very vulnerable. You invested, you get the land, you got the seed and so on, and you put in the land, but the climate did not favor you. And when you are a farmer, a business owner, a vegetable producer, you have to calculate all things. Where am I going to do all these things? Yeah, because it is
Safari,
not.
someone says your screen is not moving, that your screen is static.
Oh, people are not seeing.
No, they can see your screen, but I don't think it's moving, like it's on the same style it's been.
Like when I change, you don't see. It doesn't change on for you.
Yeah, it's not changing for them, I think.
Oh, sorry. Let me retry. Like, did I resume that? Ooh. Why? Oh, let me fix this sharing. Like, sure. I don't know what. Oh, I don't know this. Now you can you see? You can now see it, please.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
if I move, you can still see it now. Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yes, sir, we
Why
can see
didn't
it
you
now,
stop
sir.
before? You should have stopped me before because yeah, these are technical. I'm not an IT. Sorry. Okay. Let me go back to here. It is where I was talking about climate change and how it is affecting your production. If you want to venture into vegetable production, you have to be aware of this, that climate and the environment we are living in, the human is affecting naturally what could be very easy. But now, if now you decide to go into vegetable production, you have to know that, yeah, I'm not alone on this earth. People who are in mining, people who are in forests, the people who are around, who are emitting, like in other companies, like in oil production, I don't know mine. So will affect your job. So you have to be much clever when you have to start and where. And we are going to talk about this. when we come to this, like the challenges women face, generally it is, yeah, I don't know if it is the case for everyone here, but we are going to discuss about it. It is about land access. It is also capital. Uh, how do you get capital to start? Because sometimes that's also a challenge. Um, the sky irrigation, like Beryl said, she has to go to the lake, but with the consequences of going to the lake. And also the market linkage. How do you get your products moved from your farm to the consumers? So these are challenges, but of course, when you decide to be an entrepreneur, when you have to start your business, you have to know that who is going to buy. How do you get that? I would like to, from these challenges, I would like to hear from you, so that we can maybe uh, uh, find what we can suggest for you, because challenges are there. And on our side, uh, we had challenges on capital when we started. But yes, today we have already established ourselves that we can attract people who can come in. But at the beginning, I know how hard it is. And for example, when you, yeah, let's hear someone who wants to talk about the challenges uh, she's facing, and what other people can say about it. A volunteer or someone who is ready. Yeah, Beryl, go ahead again.
Okay, thank you. The challenge I'm facing is the land access issue, because to me, the reason as to why I'm doing Black Soldier Fly, our home is away from the lake. So I have the farm at home, but now I have to lease land to do the vegetable. And sometimes back I leased one of the land, and I did sorry, and I did tomatoes. And because the harvest came well, you find the landowner changed, and they could not give me the land anymore, because they felt like I made a lot of money from their land. Secondly, you find like being a woman, land inheritance is something that brings a challenge. And the moment you want to talk about land inheritance, you are being told that you should get married so that you can inherit land from
Your
from your
husband.
husband's place. Yeah, so it's a challenge that I'm facing. But for now, I'm going with the leasing way. I lease land and do the farming. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Beryl, that's really nice uh, to hear from, but that's reality. It is not nice in terms of you face those challenges, but it is real. It is something real when you go to lease, and the landlord sees that you have produced much, he taxes you much, or refuses to give back the land for the other season. So of course that's the challenge. But maybe if one landlord um, refuses to, there's still others who can support you in continuing to lease until you can acquire a small plot. Because also in agriculture, the size does not matter. The way you do things matters. You can have, for example, a, a 1/4 hectare, like 50 feet uh, square, and start your business there. Because if you apply good techniques, you can produce more on a small place than depending on a big farm, which maybe is going to require you a lot of and capital. Meet people who can invest in you, legalize. You have to have documents, you have to have everything that a given bank or a given investor can look at and say yes. We have raised a hand from Duwesi, sorry if I mispronounce your name, but go ahead.
Yes, 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 yes.
Mhm.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Can hear you.
All right. Good evening. My name is Dowesi Ashanu. The issue of land, talk about the challenge facing every day. And then for some of us who really love to invest in agriculture, but then have this challenge, and when you manage to get higher, maybe a small piece of land from people, and then we don't have much knowledge about soil fertility. Sometimes you pay money, pay some of money for a land, you cultivate your vegetables or crops, and then you find out that there is low income, low output. It's as if you started and it was a loss. So for me, the issue of land is a challenge. Just like she said, you cannot go claiming land in your house. In the African setting, they are always told. And one of my uncle even told me I should come and be talking about land now in the house. I couldn't even comment. So you must do your things maybe outside. And then the soil fertility is another thing. Because some of us are interested with little knowledge and then little finances to know some of these things. So when you are able to get this place and then you produce very low, it becomes so discouraging and you just find yourself at a very big loss. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing, Ashanu. For yeah, of course, the people who understand Africa and the challenge is the people who, because we don't lack ideas, we don't lack the will. These challenges are, we have to figure out how to. For example, when you talk about the soil fertility, that is one of the things you have to take into a mind when when you have to start your business. Why? Because if you don't test your soil, I think we have to talk about that as well in the next slide. You have to know your soil quality before you put in your seed, because your seeds will thrive only if it finds the necessary ingredients in the soil. And that's why I said earlier that when you have to start your business, vegetable production, you don't go to a top of a mountain where you are going to start and say, yeah, it is here where I found the farmland. If you go there, you will invest more, and the income might not match that investment. And that's why um, one of the challenges is that land access and capital. And we hope capital come next time. Is there anyone, or we can, because we want also to cover everything, like we have discussed, we have prepared for you before we can move on and exchange. So I would like to talk about principles of uh, climate smart agriculture. This is like, you have to be flexible. That's when you invest, it is not the way you planned 100%. It is not, it will not work the way you planned. So you have to adapt, you have to be flexible to move against the tides, because sometimes you might maybe the team. I can share a little experience with my team when we were recruiting people who wanted to help us in a given farm. After we have recruited 8 of them, after 2 weeks, they ran away because they wanted to get involved in mining. They left farming. For us, it was very hard, but we had to adapt as well. We have to be resilient. We have to say, now, what are we going to do? Are we going to stop? And this is the same case in what we are discussing today. The climate smart agriculture, as you can see, it is on 3 principles. Because if you target productivity after you have examined your soil, you have selected the seed, and you have applied good techniques, surveillance, and you have watched over your plant, productivity can increase, and you can improve your food security, like and your farm income. But also you have to prepare, like farms always face difficulties. You will not find a place where there is no a little bit of demand on what you have to put as effort in your production. If there is water, it might be much water as well. If for example, there is no let's say, like, much heat, you might have maybe a lot of shade. If there is no insects, maybe people's animal, like goats, like cows, may come to invade your farm. So when you see those things, you have to have the best reaction you can to continue what you started. Because are you going to stop your business because there was flood? No. After one season, because generally these vegetables are 3, 4, 5 months, but you have to remobilize yourself and start over. And this is adaptation. Also, you have to, like, have that capacity to apply what you can. For example, for a drought, like there is no rain, how do you at least protect? We are going to talk about applying mulcher so that you stabilize the temperature of your farm. So these are things you have to be practicing every day. What is happening to your farm? What is happening every day? What is changing? What is affecting or attacking your plants? And then you can be developing on that. For example, the people who don't have rivers or lakes beside their farms can collect water from
Sorry, Safari, please, sorry to interrupt you. I've been sending private messages. I don't know if you've been seeing it. You have about 20 minutes more for the class, then after we take questions.
We have 20 minutes to go.
Yes.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Now we'll have time for questions. Okay. Well, that is now you have to, like, at Alform, we improved. No, it is not this slide, please. Well, I was talking about. Well, okay. Well, I was talking about this. So you have to be able to mitigate the challenges. You have to find solutions so that you move forward from the challenges you face. And then let's go to the next slide, which is collective actions and farm group. If you find, for example, you cannot do things alone, get associates. Partner with other people who have the same objectives in your area so that you can develop and find solutions for your productivities. Because as we always say, productivity strengthens resilience and the bargaining power, because when you are alone, it is like you have to face all the challenges to alone. But when you are in a group, when you are in a community, you can figure out together and share the roles on how you can go out of that. Well, let's go quickly now because 20 minutes, like um, the planting season. Like I think I talked a little bit about this. The planting season is like, when are you choosing to plant? Uh, uh, when are you harvesting? To avoid all the consequences like rainfall, floods, pests, you have to choose the right time to plant the kind of vegetables you want to grow. And with that, you apply the techniques like the weather. You have to check the weather. You can go to institutions, or if you have a farm network where they always tell farmers this season you have to plant now, and this season you can plant such kind of vegetables. If you have that knowledge, that can help you um, to get things right. Because if you plant a certain crop at the wrong season, you might not get the good production. And that's why also you have to know, in my region, what is being produced as vegetables and where am I going to sell? Because if you produce at a wrong time, that will be also a wrong time. You produce at a time where your produce is your product is much on the market, the price will likely be low, and that even though you have produced good quality, the competition might be higher, and that can affect the amount you get from the work. Well, next, if I go quickly for the next, we talk about I talked about mulching, because you have to keep your soil a little bit cool, because when you put mulch, it retains soil moisture, the temperature, and around your plants. Even though there is much sun, this mulch will try to cool down your plants in terms of the roots, and that maybe in the waiting of how water will get to your plants, maybe there will be rain, and that can be very helpful for your plants. And it is and this will develop into compost, will develop into fertilizer, and then overall your plants will benefit from that. And when you water, for example, you have to put water on top of that so that it cools down entirely the farm for you. The agroecology is like, you have also to know that certain plants will thrive on full sun. And other plants, vegetables will need half sun and shade. And that's why you have also to know the characteristics of what you want to plant. For example, we had cabbage. Cabbage will require you a full sun. You don't need shades when you do cabbage and tomato, for example. They will not thrive under shade, and that's why you have to know um, beans, for example, will cope with shades. So you have to know what to choose where, and that will help you in agroecology practices. And like people always say that to be agroforestry. So you will choose what is better in terms of shed or no shed for the kind of vegetables you want to produce, the seeds you have. Well, the post-harvest, the post-harvest is like you you need to know that you have put in a lot of work to grow your vegetables. But when they grow, how do you handle them? You have to know that if you harvest, you have to know how to store and distribute and sell your produce. Here, it is a picture of our produce being at the market. Women already bought these vegetables from us, and then they are selling them. But how are they going to keep for 2, 3, 5, or a week without perishing? This is so crucial because many farms lose their produce if they fail to conserve and protect their harvests. And then there are many techniques. This slide will be shared to you, and then you can explore. Our time has gone so quickly, but I wanted to talk about these farm records as well. You have to plan. You have to plan. You have to know what you are going to plant and why, how much you are going to invest for the seed, for example, for the working capital, the people who are going to help you, and for the duration of the work needed to be done on your farm. You have to be able to record so that you can control the costs, so that you can know if you are not overspending than what you will be able to get from your sales. Now, as every entrepreneur, you have to know that every entrepreneur will like to invest less and gain more. But also, if you invest less, are you going to meet the standard and the quality required at the market? Because your competitors might have good quality than you get. So you have to plan very well, develop a good business plan so that you get the best, not only from your farm, but also when you go to the market. Maybe there is a question which will come out of that. Let me try to speed up a little bit so we can cover the remaining. Okay, I was talking about this a little bit, a business plan. No founder or no intelligible farmer or agribusiness person will go into farming without having a plan. Because when you have a plan, it is your compass. It is what directs you on what you plant, what you are going to invest, and everything needed for your business or your activity or your venture to succeed. So you have to conduct those market analyses, your potential customers, you have to build the reputation on the quality as well, because if you produce good quality, you are likely to attract many customers. And that's most important thing for everyone who ventures in food production, in agriculture, or any other thing. The quality matters. Quickly, sorry, it has gone. Okay, for the market strategy, we have already talked a little bit about that. You have also to understand about the market. How, if you are going to produce vegetables, you have to know your customers, as I said before. You have to uh, price as well accordingly. It is not because you overspent in your investment that you are going also at the market to overprice the price over what is being offered on the market. You have to know that there is a standard, like, unless you show good quality, your price will not be accepted if the quality is not there and the scarcity. If there is no scarcity of the product in the market, you cannot raise the price. So you have to be smart in pricing and packaging. For example, how do you, which quantity for what? So you have to figure out things like those also. Yeah, we have talked about collective action. So when you have, what's that? Okay. When you are in group, you have to exchange knowledge, you exchange tools, you exchange the collective market. That's the benefit. Like I talked before. You have, when you are in group, in cooperative, you share roles, and everything does not wait on you alone. So that's the benefit of being in a group, in a cooperative. Planting season, we have already talked about this. When you have to choose the best time to plant and what. Yeah, understanding the costs. You have, like I have said about that, how much you invest and what you will get. You have to calculate. That's why you have to plan. That's why you have to track everything you do, so that when it comes to the market, what you have after a given season, you have to evaluate and say, I planned this and I got this. Did I succeed? What do I have to improve? And so on. So that is, and the risk, we talked a little bit about the risk as well, because you cannot do everything safe. Uh, uh, you can plan, but climate change, as we said before, is there. Sometimes you can miss water, sometimes you can miss fundings if you didn't have all the capital at hand when you started, while you have to buy medicine for pesticide, for good quality seeds. So these are risks that you can plan ahead of. The prices on the market, so you are not controlling the market. The market is controlled by all the people who are involved in the market, the buyers and the sellers. How quality you produce and the availability of the product you have produced. So these are risks that you have to know and have in mind, and you have to be able to join them. Of course, when you don't have a lot, as we always say, when you save something for your farm, because when you join, for example, groups where you can save a little bit, and the other time it is you, another person who receives, that's already fine for your safety in terms of business. Well, we are like covering these slides, but I wanted to say at the final point that um, every business to succeed, there must be someone willing to do what other people are not doing. whether it is in vegetable production or other kind of business, don't follow what other people are doing. Because if you do all together the same thing, so what will be the difference? How much will be distinctive in what you are doing? And this is, you have to find the right path where you are able to show your uniqueness, your talent, and that will attract people on your particularity. For example, if in your region producing vegetables like tomato is hard, now you can decide, after you have evaluated the costs and all what is needed for you to succeed in tomato production in your region. If you produce them, I can guarantee you, you can make millions where people were seeing difficulties. And that's it. That's why I would like to recommend you like to set SMART goals. You identify the resources and support you need for your business. You draft your plan. Don't start without having established your plan, and commit. Because if you don't, who will? Because you will feel at the moment you are alone in your business, and you as a woman, as a young girl in business, you have to be able to fight for yourself at some point. I think that's all. I think, yeah, that's all. Of course, time. Yeah. Thank you for your participation.
Safari, I don't know, because even the other breakout room too, there's been network issue and all. So we had to extend time by like 20 more minutes. So you have like 90 minutes more, except even though there are few things that you rush through that you want to.
Oh, well, ready to go. Yeah, now we can take questions. That's the
Yeah.
plan, right?
So yeah, we can take questions. And if you also feel like you have maybe things that you didn't say because of time, you can also say it, or slides that you rushed through, you can also go back and explain better. And of course, take questions. And
Yeah, I would
so
like to
this is the
take.
time to really talk.
I would like
And
to
you have
take
this time
questions.
now.
I would like to take questions, and those questions can send me back to where I didn't
Oh, yeah, great.
talk much, because yeah, I was like, yeah, we have planned this for 2 hours.
So everyone
We
ask
plan.
questions. You have the time now. So really, really ask questions and dig deep right now. Yes, please go ahead. I need that.
Yes, Amidat, we are listening to you.
Yes, good evening, sir, Mr. Safari. Thank you very much for today's section. And firstly, sorry about my voice is not good. I'm having such a problem. So, what I want to ask is that you've said it all, but what I want to ask exactly is that,
Sorry,
um,
Amidat, can you speak up so we can hear all what you are saying, because it's difficult for me to hear you.
hello, can you hear me?
I can, yes, but you have to speak up so we can hear audibly what you are saying.
All right, sir. What
Yeah.
I'm trying to say is that, please, can you just like tell us, simple tools in terms of we want to check one soil fertility now. Like you have a soil and okay, I get a loamy soil. We already know that loamy soil comes with many nutrients, but you still want to like do some soil samples. Can you like tell us a small kit or something like that is not going to be too expensive um for a startup business owner like us that want to start vegetable production and you want to do your own soil test without going to the lab? So can you give us tips or how we can do that without going to the lab? to
Sure,
test our soil?
sure. That's a very good question, Mided. Yeah, this is really practical in terms of what you can do to improve your soil's health. First, for the people who have animals, you can use a manure. You can use dead uh, wood like fish, and the herbs, the what you cut like leaves, weeds. You can put them, mixing them when you are tilling your farm. You can be tilling them together. Or if you have also much sand, for the people who burn things, like you have sand from trees after burning trees, and then you get that ready. These are traditional things which can help to improve your soil's health. Uh, do you have access to such things, Amidat?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm talking about to check our soil
Yeah.
nutrients.
Normally,
Kits.
from your site, it is difficult to say exactly what is in the soil. The best approach, if you want to know exactly uh, the pH of your soil, for example, you have to go to a center or a place where they can examine, like taking your sample to an institution where they do soil analysis, and then you can get that. But if you don't have, for example, the mean, it is costly, you can improve your soil, but by adding uh, compost, for example. The way we make compost, it is from debris, from the weed we have cut, from uh, the peels, like all things we have thrown away, from our fruits, from our animals. We can put them together, and after 3 4 months, we can go back when they are already ready, and then we can add them into our farm, and that can be a temporary solution to improve our soil's health. There is another uh, Ashanu, you have the floor. Ashanu, can you hear us? Or Beryl, if you are ready.
Hello.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Uh,
Let Ashanu go first.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you? Go ahead.
All right. Thank you very
Ashanu, I can tell
much,
you it
sir,
is difficult
for
to hear.
the lessons. I've really enjoyed your section today
Thank you.
because
But
I
Ashanu, in the meantime, you are, sorry,
emphasize
sorry, Ashanu. I don't know if everyone can
on
hear you,
soil
because
fertility.
on my side, it is
Get me
difficult to.
now?
Sorry, say it again.
I said thank you very much for
Mhm.
your class this
Welcome.
evening. I really enjoyed your section.
Welcome.
Can you hear me?
We can now.
Okay. All right. All right.
Mhm.
And I was emphasizing on soil fertility, and I heard you talked about mulching. I
Mhm.
think it's mulching, where you said dry leaves and other things. So I want to ask, when you've already planted your crops and they've grown, do you use that? How do you apply that method? Or is it before the planting that you place the leaves and soil fertility before you plant? Or you looking at that if you cover it, will it not kill the crops? That's
Yeah.
what I want to ask.
Okay. Thank you for your question, Ashanu. Well, when you are applying such methods, you can decide, for example, what are you planting? For example, if you are planting tomato, applying mulcher can be at any time. If you have added your composts, you can apply your mulcher at any time because you don't you there is enough space when you have put your seedlings in in your farmland. There is enough space between one tree of a tomato. It is like uh 40 centimeters. So that's enough for you to walk in and try to put what you want to put as mulch. But if, for example, they are beans, when we plant beans, it's like uh, 10 to 20 centimeters, if that's really much. But there are people who also put in disorder. You cannot apply at that moment. So it depends on what you are doing. But the best practice is always when you are tilling your farm, it is the time you mix all those ingredients so that when you plant, the grain, the seeds meet all those ingredients already in the plot or in your farm. Well, let's go to the next, Beryl. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Safari, for the insightful discussion and session. My worry is like there is an area that I'm so interested in, which is value addition, because you'll find sometimes in my area we tend maybe to do production of tomatoes, but you find like the pricing, being that I'm in a rural area, the pricing is not that good compared to when you do the value addition part of it. So my question is that through through you and other facilitators, is there a way that we can bring young women into platforms of accessing machineries, accessing inputs, and even accessing capacity development in terms of value addition? Because in my place, there is a time that tomatoes can be sold and even thrown out, of which if you can be having the training, that you have the skills and maybe you have the inputs and even the machineries, you can do value addition and maybe even export. So the opportunity for accessing this platform is also another challenge that is coming up uh, in a big way, because we don't get capacity built, we don't get the skills because we are into the business without good or proper knowledge. So these platforms, how can we go about them? Yeah, thank you.
That's interesting, and that shows exactly how interested and how invested you are in your business. But really, uh, money will always come, but sometimes we also say it is not available. It is available when people understand how hard it is to get money. If you haven't met the right people, your business hasn't been presented to the right people, and you as a woman starting business like that, when you have limited capital finances, starting value addition is something very challenging because you have to acquire machinery, you have to the facility and so on, the technical skill to do that, to meet the standards already in the market. That's really challenging, but it is where you have to go. But how do you go? The only way, easiest way to get that is, for example, you share your processing value addition to the network you have. If, for example, your network can help you to acquire machinery, if your county, like government, can also support the infrastructure or facility, or if you can apply for a business grant or a seed capital like we did at the Tony Elumelu Foundation. These are ways you can get money to make that value addition possible. But also you can, we talked about saving. You can also save from your regular sales, season after season, year after year. You can be making your saves. If your objective is to make those value addition, it can you can come at a certain point in your venture to get the means, maybe to sponsor or to support yourself in terms of acquiring machinery and tools needed for you to add that value to your product. That's really crucial, because I know in Kenya, for example, there are many organizations, enterprises, businesses already in tomato value addition. So when you get into that, you have to be able to meet the competition requirements so that you also thrive. Because if you try and you don't meet, so it will affect your business. So you have to find the way. But the best strategy is maybe apply for grants, apply for competitions where you can maybe find a big support from them to support your business. Musa, you have your hand raised. Can you speak? Sabia, Musa, can you hear us? Or Beril, do you have any comments on what I have provided? Or any other person?
Okay, the comment I have is that you can start your savings, but the big challenge is skill development. Like, you don't have the skill. So even if you have your savings, you can acquire machinery, you don't know where to start from. So I think the question was generally on how can we access these platforms and forums where we can showcase our prototypes, we can do a competitive drive, we can even fundraise for our businesses and also access investors. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always difficult. I can tell you, it is difficult to find the answer for a question, because money is not exposed under the sun, as we always say. But there are platforms. Have you applied for grants or capital somewhere before?
Yes.
What have you learned about it? Much competition, like?
There is competition, but on the other hand, there is that aspect of I don't know how to call it, but when you present yourself as a girl, then there is that aspect of people believing that like with the norm of Gen Zs are not serious business people, and you get thrown out just based on that. So it's a bit tricky. Yeah.
And when it comes to skills, you know, I, I think you are also a believer, and all of us here, we believe in that when we start something, there is something inside ourselves pushing us towards what we want to pursue. And when it comes to business, no entrepreneur will tell me they don't have skills. Why? Because across the country, in your community, there are people, and an entrepreneur will never say that everything I do it by myself. When you set up a company or a business, you have to be also able to surround yourself with the right people. The team, how do you make your team? Because, for example, when we started a mobile processing uh, units, like to help farmers process the product for like the rice. When they produce rice, we can help them to pack them to. So it is not me doing that. I find someone who is expert in that, who is able uh, to do it with the standards required, and then he does it on behalf of us. So you cannot, you as an entrepreneur, you are not willing to do everything by yourself, and that's the biggest challenge also when it comes to finding the right people for your business as well. You cannot do everything by yourself. You find the people around you in your community. At universities, we have had so many people who will to maybe have a training, internship, and from that you can welcome people if you want to develop something, and you can be learning from them, and not you being the first person in everything you want uh, to achieve. Is okay. Yeah. Ola Mwini Love. Sorry for mispronouncing your first name. Love, at least. Go ahead.
All right, thank you, Mr. Safari. My question is, as the weather becomes like more unpredictable now because of climate change and all, so is it still like a good idea for small scale farmers, small scale women farmers to like focus on growing just one type of crop, let's say pepper, for instance, because I'm a pepper farmer, or is it better to grow different crops to like reduce risk or let's say protect income? Based on your experience, what would you recommend? Diversification or just sticking to just one crop?
Mhm. That's a good point. Uh, you know, in any business, in every activity you can do as an entrepreneur, do what you know to do better, and in which you can strive no matter what. Um, I, I cannot say you shouldn't try different uh, crops or different vegetables, but when it comes to how you analyze your market and the demand, that can dictate you in terms of the means you have, the money you have to invest in that, and what it will cost you. In terms of the knowledge, the technical capacity, for example, there are people like you are producing paper. If you produce paper and it is marketable, it is getting attraction. There are many customers who are who are buying from you, and you are striving from that business. If you feel like you are already stable in that, and you want to try a new other demand, which is in the market and which is not explored yet by other entrepreneurs in your region, now it is a good idea to venture in that. But after you have analyzed what we have said, the season is, for example, what you are going to produce, onion, what does it require for you to produce good quality onion, which will be attractive to your customers in your region, what you are going to invest and where. In that, no one can defend you to expand. And when you expand, that's your growth. And when you grow, you know better, because the more you do, the more you know. And that is very important. Don't try things you don't have expertise in many at once. Go with what you know, you can handle, you master very well. Step by step, you can be expanding into other aspects. I think that, do you get me right, love?
Yes, I did. Thank you so much, sir.
You are welcome. You're welcome. Well, any other question? Yeah. I would like.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you so much. So any other question, please? Please go ahead. And also, I've put the post assessment form, the link to the post assessment form in the chat. Please ensure you fill it ensure you fill it now. And then also, we are going to still take pictures with the speaker, so and that also counts for your attendance. So don't leave. Please, you can go ahead and say what you want to say.
Yeah, I was expecting to have other questions. But if there is any, there's no question, I can still say something on vegetable production. I had an experience at our farm when we started in 2024. From the question Love asked, we tried many crops at the same time. We had aubergine, we had sweet pepper, we had tomato, we have cabbage, and we had onion. At that time, I can tell you, when we started, everything was really smooth. We were very joyful that we are establishing a very productive farm with all those things flourishing at the first period. But when now happened the time of disease, because don't forget that in every plot, I have been in so many farms and I have seen that every farmer will tell you there will be something which will affect, trying to hinder the growth or the productivity of your plants. Every plant is vulnerable. So we did not care much at which time, and when we are supposed to take care of every distinctive crop we planted. And at that time, we were like, we lost control of some of the crops we planted ourselves, and we were proud of to plant. For example, for tomato, there was a cut of rain, and then there, we have planted a very large place that we couldn't even afford watering it by hand. We didn't have any water pump. No irrigation system was in place at that time. That was really a very big test. And then we had only to rely on rainfall. That was really very challenging. We planted cabbage. in a very large surface. And there is one, at that moment, no rain. The development of those cabbage, and although they started very well, but at that moment there is no rain. And the biggest challenge was now the disease started. And at that moment, we had to look for support from here and there, how we can combat that. It was really, really difficult. Of course, we enforced our team, but that was really challenging. The means we invested in to try to secure and to have control over the farm at that moment, it was really hard. And that's why I would not recommend to embrace all things at once. Embrace the crop you are seeing yourself able to thrive in at first, and then slowly, when you study and develop your skills in that other crop, you can go on according to the demand on the market, because that's the most important thing. Well, I have talked too much. I don't know if we.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think it's just perfect for us. Please, can you just go to the chat and say thank you very much, Safari? I've also really enjoyed this class as well. And learn more about, and please don't take all of this for granted, because especially with the way the world is going, food production is going to be a very, very huge deal, you know. And if you can provide food for people, you will always be relevant. No matter how AI gets very, very, innovative, updated, people won't eat data and machines. People would always eat food.
And that's what Dr. Monroe said. The people who will become the next billionaires in the world are those who are producing food.
Exactly. So it's time for pictures, please. Everybody put on your videos. Let's take photos. And first, unmute your mic and say thank you, Safari. Thank you, Safari. And it's been a wonderful session. And thank you so much, even on such a short notice.
Thank you, sir.
I can't hear you. Say thank you, thank you,
Safari.
thank you.
Thank you, Safari. Thank you, sir.
You are welcome. Thank you so much.
So please put on your videos. Let's take photos of the session. Before we turn to we go to the main. Please put on your videos. Victor, blessings. Albeya, Musa, Beryl. You've been talking and talking. Let's see your face. Amidat, Sarah, Jemima, Latifa, Jumai, Victoria, Victor, blessing. Let's see all your faces. Latifa. Yeah, still put it on, please. Yeah, finally saw love. Okay, just one more. People are now just turning on their video. It's interesting. Okay, so thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful session. Let's return to the meeting room, the main meeting room now, and just wrap up. Hopefully, our colleagues in the other breakout room, they are done. Please ensure that you filled the post assessment form. Has anyone been able to fill the post assessment form? Has anyone been able? If you've been able to fill it, yes, please.
Please, I can't access the chat, sir. I don't know if it's network.
Oh, maybe probably it's network, because the chat is showing here clearly. I've copied the link again. Please ensure that you fill it. And if no, you are not able to fill it, then take a screenshot of you being here, your name, and then send to your community manager and request for the post assessment, the link to the post assessment form. Ensure you take a screenshot of anything that shows you are here, maybe of your name, of your video, of your picture. Send to your community manager and say you were in the session, but network didn't allow you to take the post assessment form. So you need the link. So she will send you the link to the post assessment form so that you can have a complete attendance. You remember we are very big on attendance. It's going to determine a lot, a whole lot. From who will be available at the facility visit to those who will get the certificate to those who would even be get to enjoy the mini funding, and also please ensure you fill it. So thank you everyone for joining. Let's return to the main meeting. I'm trying to see if there's a way I could just return also to the main meeting, but so let's try to see if we can return to the main meeting room. So just leave breakout room, just leave the breakout room. Don't leave the meeting, leave the break. Thank you so much once again, Safari. Let's see if we can just